Boy, howdy, is it cold this time of the year. It's around -2 degrees outside, and that got me thinking. I make a lot of 3D prints that I end up shipping, and sometimes they are left in the mailbox for the postman to come pick up whenever he stops on by the next day. So they could be out there in that temperature for around 24 hours. But does that have any impact on the integrity of the product that I'm selling? Well, let's find out. For this test, we'll be running it in a controlled manner inside my freezer, which is 0 degrees Fahrenheit. I think that's pretty representative, or at least close enough to what we're looking for. And we're going to toss the print in my freezer. Now, I'm not going to just throw it in the ice because my parts aren't actually subjected to the water when they're in my mailbox. So I'm just going to put it right there in the freezer and see if there's any noticeable degradation of the product's quality, particularly things like layer adhesion, or if there's any sort of warping or brittleness once it comes out of the temperature. Because it's not like it's going to be a part that's in the cold forever, it's just while it's in the mailbox for about a day. So we'll come back in 24 hours and see how it's done. Alright, so it has been a little over 24 hours since I put that PLA part in the freezer at 0 degrees Fahrenheit. Let's take a look at it, shall we? Turn the phone's light on so that way we can get a little bit better look of everything here. I don't see any issues with layer separation. This particular print had a slight printing issue, which is why I don't mind sacrificing it. But overall, seems perfectly fine. It's still flexible in the areas where you would expect it to be flexible. It seems as sturdy as it ever was. It is absolutely freezing cold. My hands are getting super cold here. Just trying to see if there's anything in particular that stands out to me. But honestly, not really. Considering this is a part that I don't care if it breaks or not, we might as well see if this thing just shatters when dropped on the ground from 4 feet around there. Ugh. I don't see any issues. I don't see any delamination either. Let's see if there's any issues letting it sit in 71 degrees ambient temperature, heating up back to normal, because plastic would have contracted. Let's see what happens when it expands back to normal. Let this part warm back up for a few hours now, and it's definitely at room temperature. So we're going to take a gander and see if there are any particular issues we can spot, other than my printing issue right there, that y-axis layer shift. No, not really. Parts that are flexible, still flexible. I don't see any sort of layer separation. There's a drop it. Not like anything is shattered. I don't know what another way is to test this. This isn't like some sort of model that needs to take a ton of impact or anything, but as far as PLA goes, you know, having it in the cold at sub-zero temperatures, or, well, 0 degrees according to, well, it can get a little colder than that in the freezer if I wanted it to, but I don't think this is going to have any problems just being cold and warming back up again. This is Hatchbox PLA. It's good stuff. I was curious, and my curiosity is satisfied, and I hope this helps you guys learn a little bit more about PLA.